Have you ever wondered what secrets lie buried with the last pharaoh of Egypt? Or what mysteries are woven into one of the most famous relics in history? Today, we're diving headfirst into two of history's greatest enigmas, the lost tomb of Cleopatra and the controversial Shroud of Turin. Get ready, because we're about to peel back the layers of time and myth. Cleopatra, the legendary queen, and the Shroud of Turin, believed by many to be the burial cloth of Jesus Christ. For centuries, these two subjects have captivated historians, archaeologists, and believers alike. Their stories are a tangled web of power, faith, and mystery. Despite countless searches and scientific tests, definitive answers remain just out of reach, leaving us with more questions than answers. Why can't we find Cleopatra's final resting place? And what is the truth behind the image on the shroud? The biggest challenge? We're fighting against time, conflicting historical accounts, and in the case of the shroud, a deep chasm between faith and science. For Cleopatra's tomb, the primary obstacle is the changing landscape of Alexandria. Ancient parts of the city are now underwater, submerged by earthquakes and rising sea levels. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, but the haystack is at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. As for the Shroud of Turin, the debate is fierce. Carbon dating in 1988 suggested it was a medieval forgery, yet other scientific analyses point to features that modern technology still can't replicate. Is it a miraculous artifact or the most brilliant hoax ever created? These aren't just historical puzzles, they are epic challenges that push the limits of our knowledge and technology. Let's step back in time. Cleopatra VII ruled from 51 to 30 BC. After her dramatic death, ancient writers like Plutarch tell us she was buried alongside her lover, Mark Antony. But where? The most prominent theory, led by archaeologist Kathleen Martinez, points to the ancient temple site of Taposiris Magna, about 30 miles outside of Alexandria. Martinez argues that, as a priestess of Isis, Cleopatra would have wanted to be buried in a temple dedicated to the goddess, recreating the myth of Isis finding the body of her husband, Osiris. For years, her team has been excavating this site, uncovering tunnels, a necropolis with Greco-Roman-style mummies, and coins bearing Cleopatra's image. Each discovery fuels the hope that they are getting closer to the queen herself. Now let's journey from the sands of Egypt to a cathedral in Italy. The Shroud of Turin is a linen cloth bearing the faint negative image of a man with wounds consistent with crucifixion. It first appeared in historical records in the 14th century in France. Believers are convinced it's the authentic burial cloth of Jesus, citing the unique 3D information encoded in the image and details, like pollen grains from plants native to the Jerusalem area. Skeptics, however, point to the 1988 radiocarbon dating which placed its origin between 1260 and 1390 AD, squarely in the Middle Ages. But the story doesn't end there. Subsequent studies have questioned the validity of that carbon dating, suggesting the sample might have been taken from a patch repaired in the medieval period, skewing the results. The mystery only deepens. This brings us to the climax of our investigation. For Cleopatra, the key moment could be just around the corner. Imagine if the next chamber uncovered at Taposiris Magna contains not just artifacts, but an undisturbed royal tomb with inscriptions confirming its occupants. Such a find would be the archaeological discovery of the century, rewriting history books and giving us an unprecedented look into the life and death of Egypt's last pharaoh. For the shroud, the game changer could be a new, more comprehensive scientific analysis. Researchers are proposing new dating methods and non-destructive tests that could analyze the entire cloth, not just a small corner. If these new tests were to date the shroud to the 1st century AD, it would force a complete reevaluation of its authenticity and challenge everything we thought we knew. The potential for a paradigm shift is immense for both mysteries, so we're left on the edge of discovery. The hunt for Cleopatra's tomb continues to inch closer to a potential breakthrough, while the Shroud of Turin remains a powerful symbol, caught between scientific scrutiny and profound faith. These aren't just old stories. They are active investigations that remind us how much of our own history is still waiting to be discovered. What are your theories? Do you think we'll ever find Cleopatra's tomb? Is the Shroud of Turin a medieval masterpiece or a sacred relic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have another historical mystery you want me to tackle, drop your suggestions. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.